Hello, and welcome to a surprise episode of A Ghost in the Magazine. I'm Steph,
And I'm Elle.
And I'm Matt.
and we're doing something special today. We are we are going dark in September. However, a mysterious offer landed in my inbox, and so I decided that we should probably do the mysterious offer. So this is how I think it came to be. I have no confirmation, okay? Over the summer out here in South Florida, there was a Popcorn Frights horror movie festival between Fort Lauderdale and South Beach. I attended a lot of these movies, and so my email address has been floating around between these Popcorn Frights people. And so the media contact for Breaking Glass Pictures slid into my inbox and probably a bunch of other people, but I'm just going to say mine because it makes me feel more special, and offered the screening link for this movie, Conjuring the Beyond. So obviously I said, yes, let's do it. We've never done anything like this before. And we're also offering it spoiler free, which we've also never done before. So we're going to do our best, right, Matt?
You know what? It's just good to be back.
So here we are. Conjuring the Beyond is an hour and a half movie. Okay, I don't know how to do this.
I'll start.
Okay.
But what I like is that it kind of, and not in a bad way, but it lulls you in with the familiarity of the genre.
Uh-huh.
You know your Nancy character immediately. You know it checks the boxes off one at a time, and it's just starts that way. You got your group of people brought to a place for reasons unknown, and spooky shit's about to go down.
That part. But it's also like when you say that familiarity thing, I immediately knew it was I'm just gonna say I knew that it was centered around sleep paralysis. And it's interesting because I've always been really scared of sleep paralysis because when I was really young, like 11, and I was devouring X-Files on a daily basis, like multiple episodes. My sister and I accidentally stumbled upon a sleep paralysis documentary, and we were scared shitless because we thought that it would just attack us at any point, any night. We would be stricken with sleep paralysis. As we find out in this movie, that's not true.
Well, this movie kind of treats it as like a hypnotic STD. Can I say that?
Ooh,
yes. Is that a spoiler?
No, that's not a spoiler. That's actually a really interesting way to put it.
Plot point.
Plot point. So hypnosis is also a thing that I feel like is very mysterious. You know what I mean? I have very recent experience in the hypnosis department. So this movie actually really played on a lot of things I've gone through recently. They talk about PTSD and they talk about anxiety and they talk about OCD, a lot of the things that like we suffer from and we talk about. And I actually I did a hypnosis last weekend. It was a great experience, but I knew what I was getting into and I consented to it. And I also discovered that hypnosis works best when you're really sleepy. So it's just very interesting how all of this kind of fell together.
I think that's just going to sleep.
There's like a state between wake and sleep where you're very suggestive, and hypnosis is about planting suggestions in your subconscious. And so it works. It's a very good mechanism, I think, for the story. I like the way the story's set up. Some of the acting's a little stiff. Doesn't really do it for me, but other than that, and I mean, this is an indie movie. I don't know. I do think that the guy who played the Dr. Praetorius, he sold the hypnotist thing for sure. He has a hypnotist voice.
Yeah, and he had the crazy eyes, respectfully.
Yeah,
Well, and then also, like, I don't think this is really a spoiler here, but you kind of know who your final girl is right at the beginning, but
Mhm.
do you really?
Yeah.
No. What I
Right?
wanted more of was, I just feel like she wasn't sorry, I just feel like she wasn't like real. You don't really get anything from
Hmm.
her. And like the beginning is her story, but it's not really anything. Like
Yeah, that opening scene was really off-putting because I think that that was maybe the worst acting I saw out of that argument between those three. Just like,
the passive aggressive knitting from the brother's wife. Like we don't use knitting as a weapon.
well, I think honestly, the brothers' interactions and like he said a lot of yikes shit in that, which I mean,
Yes.
it tracks. I mean, it tracks. But
Mhm.
I thought it was funny. Like, you say you're depressed and yet you can't do things.
That's depression, friend.
Yeah.
Divorce is hard. Hello.
But I
I,
mean, they load this gun with like trauma, this hypnotic STD, this hypnosis. I do think that the setting is very interesting. I wish that there was like something to it. I was waiting for them to weave that into, just because it's so remote. And I did look it up. It is a former school in the town of Mineral, Washington, and it is pretty secluded. So it seemed like a cool place. They're working on turning it into an art center, apparently.
For the most part, though, we've all seen this movie about 10 or 20 times, right?
mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, very formulaic. It throw you for a little bit of a loop at the end, which I appreciate. Uh, it's not
Yes.
how I, it's not how I would have done it, but you don't see
Hmm.
it coming.
Yeah.
That's the parts that I appreciate. I see your face. Oh.
Well, it was a bit abrupt for me. Like there was parts in the movie that really crawled and really didn't have the best pacing, and then all of a sudden like this ending came and we had like all of these occult elements that were leading up to, and we spent all this time
Mhm.
going over those, and then they just like, oh no, we're just going to end it this way all of a sudden. So
I think that's okay. I think it's okay because it leads you to what is real and what's not. And
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I
I
guess
think it's
it just
okay.
set me up to feel unsatisfied. That's my problem, and that's a personal issue. So
That's
You say,
crazy.
you say abrupt, and like I'm with you. Like I fast forwarded through the credits. I'm like looking for a stinger or something, but I'm like,
mhm,
there's only like a couple minutes left. There's not going to be a stinger here.
yeah.
I think I watched this movie differently because I didn't sleep well last night. And so I watched this movie on my laptop curled around it, thinking the entire time, after this movie's over, I'm going to take such a good nap. But I'm being lulled to sleep. And I'm like, please, God, don't let me accidentally get hypnotized while I'm watching this movie because
You
I'm
watched this
so fucking
movie
tired.
while you were experiencing sleep paralysis. It really
Well,
hit home.
I mean, maybe that's why I spilled my protein shake all over myself. I don't know.
Things that I really loved about this, they didn't try to bludgeon us with darkness or loud shit. It was
Mhm.
very medium. I could see everything all the way through. They had music in there, but they didn't try to blast my eardrums out to jump
With his
scare me.
tiny boombox.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
could they?
that scene was a little hilarious, I have
Said,
to
let me
say.
get my boombox and comes in with this tiny little thing. And I'm like, okay.
And then like everyone's just dancing. That's just okay.
It was very awkward,
It
but
was
I'm
an
like,
awkward dance party.
way to make the best out of like a fucking weird situation,
Yeah,
respectfully.
true.
Can I tell you what I loved the most about this movie?
Yeah.
Besides, I was very I said I was pretty satisfied with the ending. Um But the thing that I love is that they were talking about this school and how it was an overflow to the hospital during the COVID-19 epidemic. And I'm just like, way to remind us that we're living through history right now, because later on they are going to make movies like this, like how they are always like, oh, this asylum like, or this was overflow because of the Spanish influenza or whatever. So it's modern. However, the Dr. Pretorius, is very much giving like 70s doctor. He's got the brown jacket, the big clear rimmed glasses. He's smoking inside. And I was like, I love these choices very much.
He was like, I'm not trying to be rude here, but he was a little bit of a knockoff Vincent Price. And I say that in a kind thing because I really love Vincent Price. So
Same. No, I liked him. I dig him.
He had the presence, you know?
Yeah.
What did you two think about the how do I say it without giving it away? The the things that were encountered later on. The little.
They weren't afraid to show us the monster.
Right.
And I liked that. And the monster looked really good for an indie movie, I thought.
The makeup was great.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I could play monster or not. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's always a paralysis demon, right?
Yes, there's always going to be some kind of like thing. There's always going to be some kind of monster, even if it's like it's a guy
baby
or.
I wanted somebody to fall asleep with like a nail file, though. I just clean her up a bit. That's.
I'll never go to the nail salon. Never. I don't know. Also, I loved that there were very few characters, but that cast was diverse as fuck. So it's not hard, Hollywood. Not hard.
I do like the way that they were taken. Okay, we'll put it that way. The way that the characters are taken, because they're being picked off. We're talking about a formulaic movie, right? So we can say that they're being picked off. It wasn't the order I thought it would go. We'll put it that way. Like there are things, there are tropes in horror movies, and this did not follow that trope at all. And
no, I think Scream rules. It does not follow Scream rules at all.
Totally touches on what I said earlier. I mean, to a T. You think you got it figured out, and like they throw a little monkey wrench in there, and yeah, it was like they put everything into a template, but then shredded the template.
Yeah. And
just in my opinion.
Love to see it. I have to say, like, turning tropes on their head, I love to see it every time. You can kind of like hint at it, make fun of it a little bit, but then do something completely different and subvert that expectation that the audience has. That's great. Some of the dialogue wasn't so well written though, but
it's okay.
That's picking it a little bit. So
Wanda she was looking for confidence, and she sure found it out of nowhere really, really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, all of a sudden she was like, I'm gonna fucking fix this.
Yeah, I do think some of the character work was a little inconsistent. There's a tarot card reader in here, and she puts the card down right after being told that this person has had monumental changes to their life, and then they act like they're surprised by it. It's like, it's telling you that change happened. What the fuck? Why are you scared? That's not what the death card means. You know that. You're a YouTube tarot reader. From a former YouTube tarot reader to another YouTube tarot reader. You know better. Come on.
That's a trope. Like, that's a thing. Using the tarot cards, these specific tarot cards, for what they seem like at face value, not for what they really are. And going, overall, I think it's a decent movie. The only thing that I actively didn't enjoy about this movie was the piece of shit guy, because he was very confusing and he was very obnoxious, and he was very, I don't know, he was talking about how his grandma lived to be 85 years old, but it wasn't because of natural medicine, and he was against homeopathic shit, and he was pro pills, and I'm like, your grandmother didn't get to be that old by popping pills. She took care of herself. Your grandmother believes in natural medicine. Don't talk to me. And like, why did you come? If you're that, I know that the doctor said you need skepticism and that's why he's there, but if you're that skeptical and talking shit right away, why did you come? I wouldn't go all the way out there without answers, unless I wouldn't go all the way out there if it was something I didn't believe in.
Just wanted to bring some conflict to it. That's all.
Yeah.
He wanted to. Yeah, that's all.
No movie would be complete without a schman.
Yeah, they needed him. Like it was. I also think like we're talking about like women are usually hysterical. That dude was like the most hysterical of any of them. So
Like literally.
It was an all right movie. Like I
Yeah.
said though, I've seen it before.
mhm.
Yeah.
That's not saying anything bad. You know, I can watch the same thing over and over. You know, but I did appreciate the little twist at the end.
Yes.
Didn't love it.
Yeah,
No. It's an appreciation. Like,
Mhm.
thank you. Thank you. For
I
that.
agree. I think that's probably my take on it too. Like I would say, I was disappointed a little bit in the end, but I see it for what it is and appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just a group appreciation here. Thank you. Thank you, Breaking Glass Pictures.
I think you two are gonna appreciate me.
Oh.
Because while I haven't been on the show recently, I've been doing some hard work behind the scenes. I'm not kidding.
Hmm.
I got us a sponsor for today's episode.
Okay.
Would you like to hear this?
Yes, Matt.
Okay, our sponsor for today's episode is Unidragon Pornographic Puzzles. These impressively built wooden puzzles are sure to be a crowd pleaser at parties, family reunions, or just a night in with the family. Constructed of 100% real poplar, Unidragon Pornographic Puzzles can customize their puzzles to fit the personal experiences of their customers. Just upload your JPEG image into their user-friendly templates, choose a type of puzzle from their wide variety of selections, and be sure to include explicit instructions for your desired final product in the description located below. Whether you upload a headshot of Rory Culkin and you want it to be placed on the body of a busty woman working at a sandwich shop, or if you want a puzzle of alleged world-renowned creepy recycler Steven Weber eating his own cum, Unidragon Pornographic Puzzles has you covered. And for a limited time, if you make a purchase that exceeds $30 US, Unidragon will take an additional 10% off your final purchase if you enter the promo code GHOST at checkout. Visit UnidragonPornoPuzzles.com. Select your puzzle, upload your image, describe exactly what you want done, and don't forget to enter that promo code GHOST. That's GHOST at checkout. And you'll have your handmade puzzle in 6 to 8 weeks. And, you know, I kind of trail off here a little bit, but Unidragon Puzzles for when you want your porn, but you want to feel like you've earned it.
I'm not kink shaming. I'm kink asking why.
Disclaimer, not a real ad.
I wish it was, dude. I have the perfect thing to order.
Thanks, Matt.
Unidragon is indeed a real company. They just don't make pornographic puzzles.
Nice.
I said alleged.
Alleged.
He did do what he was supposed to do. Good job, Matt.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. My
Okay.
grandma's here. I gotta go.
Okay, dude.
Talk to you later.
Hi, Matt.
Bye.
Bye, man.
Anyways, that was Conjuring the Beyond, which is going to be available Tuesday, September 13th to watch. So definitely give it a try if if sleep paralysis demons are your bag. We're going to go back to being in the dark now, but we'll see you again in October for 31 Days of Horror. You can find this podcast on the interwebs at ghostinthemagazine.site or on Twitter at GITM Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at WitchXPudding.
You can follow me at Nocturnical.
Okay, bye.